Hello and welcome to FamilyandLifeSolutions.com. What you're about to hear is a client talking to Brad about his counseling experience. These results are typical. Transformations like these are something we see on a regular basis. As you explore our website, you'll learn that Brad is an expert in marriage counseling and infidelity recovery. But don't take my word for it. Listen to our clients' experiences. We have changed the client's name to protect their privacy.
At some point you have to deal with things. If not, they build and build and build. The inevitable was the divorce. I mean, we were going to get divorced. 14 months ago, if we'd have found you, I wouldn't be here where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
You know, I went 3 months, I couldn't work. I couldn't sleep. I cried every night. I was depressed. I couldn't eat. Health started going downhill. You know, I couldn't put it in a box and let God take care of it. Yeah. You have to deal with your problems. Yeah. You don't deny them.
Yeah. Jim, did you feel like the other help that you got was dismissive of where you were coming
Exactly.
from?
That's the best way to explain it. Dismissive.
It was dismissive.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
You know, are you going to cheat on him again? Oh, okay, you're not. Jim, you got to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, that's what they told me. That was one of the words. You have to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, I've heard that before from other people.
Yeah.
You just got to let go.
You can't build trust back on that.
Yeah.
Because when this happens, you feel so alone. And the main thing, and this is what impressed me about you, you listened. You listened to my needs, and then we started chiseling away at those things. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, well, that's interesting, Jim, let's pray about it. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, it was, Jim, you actually felt like you were getting somewhere. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Proactive and reactive is the best way to describe how I felt about you know, your actions. They were proactive.
Yeah. And
you were reactive to my needs.
Yeah. Jim, I remember first time I met you, we met for 3 hours.
Yes.
And you really, how did that time go, that first time we met?
It seemed like 15 minutes, but I walked into your office. It was either come to your office or go see my attorney and get the divorce papers started.
Yeah. I
mean, I was ready to move on with my life. I had had enough of feeling like this every day.
Yeah. Explain that. What happens after an affair is made known, the person who's been betrayed many times develops symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's very traumatic. That's something that happens when somebody's been raped, a victim of or survived a war or battle, natural disaster, an auto accident, witnessed somebody die in front of them. This happens when infidelity occurs, and what happens is it's very traumatic. There's not very many people who are skilled and that know how to help people through this, who know how to give hope, who know how to paint a roadmap, and who have experience in helping couples through this. And kind of what I've been talking about with Jim is I'm the third therapist that Jim has been to, third counselor that Jim's been to, and he went to these counselors more in the beginning of the process. Is that right, Jim?
Very beginning.
And now, 14 months later, never got anywhere with it. And Jim is finally
just created more questions.
Just created more questions, more turmoil, coming closer to divorce. I want this to end. And Jim found me online, and for the first time has hope and relief, and knowing that it feels like things are better. Things are getting better. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And the recovery process for somebody is about a 2-year process. That doesn't mean you're going to be in counseling for 2 years. That just means that the individual healing is a 2-year process. Jim got stuck into a 14-month holding period because nobody gave him any good advice. They were dismissive of where he's coming from and basically told him just to shut up and be quiet to go along.
Accept it and move on with your life.
Just accept it and move on. And Jim, you found somebody who actually knew what they were talking about, knew how to deal with it, and we've done more in the last month.
The trauma, the first thing, and you said that to begin with. We have to deal with the trauma of this. That's so misdiagnosed. People don't understand the level of trauma that this creates.
Yeah.
It affects every aspect of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Jim, I like what you said earlier, just as far as the detail you gave. I like what you said. Sleep, eating, every area of my life.
Yeah.
Work, everything. There wasn't any, it was overwhelming.
That's a good way to describe it. It is. It's overwhelming. From the moment you find out, and the faster you find somebody that can help you through this, the better off you are. I mean, I've just went through 14 months of hell.
Yeah.
Through this, I've learned more about who my wife is. So I know better how to understand her and deal with issues that we have in the future. I can be more proactive towards our relationship instead of reactive to our relationship.
Yeah. Jim, let me ask you, what kind of help did you get along the way? Because it was you found out about 14 months ago.
We've bought every book published. I've read almost every piece of information on the internet. But it's different at 3 o'clock in the morning with your eyes bloodshot and tears running down your face, trying to read and digest this information. It's the third person effect going on. You're still alone. You're sitting in a dark room. You're looking at a computer screen. There's no personal feelings whatsoever being transferred. Your body language, your tone sets the stage for a harmonious transaction between your patients and yourself. The first thing you told us is you're not a judge. You're not here to beat people up. You're a referee. You're here to make sure that information that we need to know gets out there without anybody's feelings getting hurt or nobody fighting.
Yeah, I remember with your wife, I wanted to really drive it home that I'm going to be fair with her.
Yep. You did that at every meeting.
Yeah, I really wanted to let her know, because she's just a more timid type person. And I didn't want her to feel like she was being dominated, and I wanted to set the stage that this is going to be a respectful process. Give me feedback, because I don't want to be disrespectful either. Good marriage counseling requires that.
It's very important.
And I think,
that's the misperception that people go in to counseling. The affected party is looking for vindication. Like you talked about earlier, the willingness to forgive is the ability to quit punishing that person, okay? And when you go into marriage counseling, I think all of us are looking for, hey, this guy's going to be on my side. This person's going to be rooting for me. I got him in my corner. Let's beat her up and let's find some answers, or beat him up and find some answers. That didn't take place. What took place was a very comfortable place to be able to communicate very emotional things.
Yeah, so Jim, you were thinking, he's going to tell me I'm right, that I have the right to leave her, that I'm this, that I'm that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for the first time here, was you to say, yeah, Jim, you're right, go get a divorce. That was what I prayed would come out of your mouth.
Oh, wow. What did you find instead?
Compassion, understanding. I don't know the word I could really want to use here. It's a harmony. We took chaos and kind of harmonized it a little bit to where we could do the tough things we needed to do. Let those emotions out. Dig for what we needed. Tell the truth. Be honest. Start building the trust back.
Yeah. Yeah. I needed hope.
Yeah.
I've gotten hope.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that things are much better.
Oh, you didn't try to talk me out of anything.
Yeah.
You said, let's think about this. Not, you're going to. It's, let's think about this.
Jim, with so you were kind of expecting me to be more of a judge, kind of not a referee or not a mediator or a peaceful. Not a healer. Maybe it's the right way to say it. Not somebody who's a healer, but somebody who's telling you.
I was looking for a judge, jury, and an executioner.
Say
when I walked in. Yep.
Yeah. Jim, how do you feel about the blueprint to healing that we've had?
Well, you gave us a really good path that we were going to take to start with. You sat down and explained the steps. Listened to me diagnose the issues that were the most pressing to me in the beginning. And said, this is what we've got to attack first, second, and third. If we don't attack this, we can't go to 2. We don't do 2 in the right order, we can't go to 3. And we're going to deal with each one of these issues. And we did. It worked perfectly.
Yeah, so it's, before when we went to other counselors, we didn't have the order.
There was no path. There was no process. It's, don't do it again, let's pray about it.
Yeah. And Jim, it was even, they would ask your wife, are you going to do this again? And she responded, no, I'm not. And then
he says they come back and like, see, everything's healed. God takes care of everything.
And
and
they expected you to be okay.
Yeah.
Jim, one of the things you mentioned earlier was they expected you to kind of put all these in the
told
box.
me I need to forget about it. I needed to take these negative emotions, put them in a box, take them outside, bury them, and just that stuff's, God will take care of that. Just go on with your life now.
Yeah. And that never got you any closure.
Oh no, it made things worse. Life is a wonderful thing. Get out there and live it. Going through this is an existence. It's a very miserable existence at most.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jim, for 14 months, I wasn't able to live.
No, I lived in a miserable existence of a life. And it was unnecessary. Because we didn't find the right people to help us.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming to me. And
I appreciate the help.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this audio recording.
Been a pleasure.